Hello and welcome to RGV LEAD's 20th Annual Education and Career Expo.
We are the RGV LEAD Student Ambassadors to Australia Higher High School.
Today we will hear from employers in a variety of career fields.
We'll also hear from representatives
from state universities and local RGV colleges.
The messages we hear today are sure to help us make informed decisions in our educational and career pathway.
Let's give our presenters our undivided attention.
Remember to take notes, ask questions, and enjoy the 2021 Expo.
All right, and welcome everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the 20th Annual Education and Career Expo. This is day 2. Thank you for those that joined us day 1. We had a lot of great employers that shared a lot of great information along with programs of study here locally that paired up nicely with those employment opportunities. For those of you this first time joining us, thank you. Over the past 2 days, we're bringing 16 different Valley businesses along with 43 programs of study to you, the students, to share the information of what, the opportunities are here in the Rio Grande Valley. So once again, thank you for joining us. We want to get directly to our presenters and give them the time that so they can share great information with y'all. So at this time, we're going to kind of switch some stuff up, but we're going to start with Mr. Robert Stone from Texas Southmost College, and he's going to talk about the agricultural program. So, Mr. Stone, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. Good morning, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we are, okay, so can you see it okay?
Yes.
Great. So we're excited about our new degree in agriculture. It will be coming on board next fall. It's been a process in the making, but we're very excited. And one of the main reasons is I'm trying to make sure I can get through my presentation. There. Okay, one of the main reasons is because of the kinds of occupations that are available in this area. So there's a variety of good paying occupations, and we believe our program will be the great starting point for students that want to go on into areas of agriculture. And a lot of times that sort of just suggests people might think of it as strictly farming or ranching, but as you can see from the jobs listed here, there's all kinds of positions available. And one reason we worked hard to get this this degree going is because of the kinds of jobs that are available specifically here in our area, right? So there's these types of there are these types of occupations available throughout the valley: crop production, animal production, not so much logging, but we do have our wildlife areas. This graphic shows that it pays a really good weekly salary as well. And again, a good part of the valley is devoted or made up of agriculture. Okay. This graphic is showing that farming and ranching make up the bulk of all the employment, and again, here's a breakdown of the salaries. So again, you can start off here with our 2-year program, and then move on to a 4-year program, and I'm going to talk about the 4-year programs here in just a moment, but it is interesting to note that there's a lot of agricultural programs here in the valley already. Okay, so here in our specific area, in the lower valley, there's a lot of agricultural programs going on, and so we feel like students can continue here from what they started in high school, and from here there's degrees at Texas A&M Kingsville in all these areas involved with agriculture, and also at A&M College Station, right? And these are all schools that we have an agreement with one way or another, and Texas Tech as well, right? So we have connections with these universities, so we'll work with helping our students transfer as they get through our program. One thing I want to emphasize is that we're going to have 2 tracks. One is in agricultural science. So these are 2, both of these fall under our 2-year Associate of Science in Agriculture degree, but one will be specifically focusing on agricultural sciences and animal science, and the other track will focus on agribusiness. Okay, so that would affect the kinds of courses that students would take. Okay, so what's left to say is it kind of shows the different courses that are available, but that's I think I'll pass on that and just let you know that if you're thinking about agriculture, again, a big part of our valley, a big part of our valley economy, then we are excited to be starting this new program in the fall of 2022. Okay, so please keep that in mind. I also want to mention, now that I have the floor, I'm going to just move beyond the agriculture, just to mention our associate in science degree as well. So we have an associate in science. This is a degree designed for people who want to go on to science careers, either 4-year degrees or beyond, or students who are working towards some kind of technical area. There's some are mentioned here. Also, there's like digital medical sonography. You can start here in our science program and move into these areas. We're really proud of our former students. We have students who've gone into the engineering program at A&M. Actually, we have quite a few students presenting at national conferences. We have students accepted in internships, NASA internships. So we are extremely proud of the work we do here and the work our students do. And we emphasize reaching out to the community. Of course, many of these pictures are pre-COVID, but I believe this was the Career Expo not too long ago, where we had many students volunteering and helping out. And we also have our breast cancer awareness events and other activities as well. We have 3 tracks now. I'll just mention that. Just like agriculture has the 2 tracks, we have tracks in biology, chemistry, and physics. So you can sort of zero in a particular area. And I'm showing some of the jobs available in these areas. And then there's some here in red. These are areas where any track you follow, you can find careers. Okay, so either an engineering at the end of a 4-year degree, or a technology position with a 2-year degree. Those jobs are available out there. I just want to let you know about some programs specifically for our science students. We have an agreement with UTRGV where you start your a 2-year degree here, your associates in biology, and move on to a bachelor's in biomedical science. It's an opportunity to start doing research right away. And for qualifying students, there's money support as well. And here's something that we were just awarded this fall. We are part of this alliance. I really like this logo. And BAT stands for Bridges Across Texas. And this is an agreement with these colleges right here, these 2 4-year universities, and there's 3 2-year colleges. And this is about helping our students to move on to transfer, and we'll do that through all these activities here. There'll be some travel support for students, opportunities for them to get stipends, and opportunities for them to do research right away. And also here in our department, we have this program where the faculty sort of take an active role in helping guide our students. We call this STING, and we just sort of try to help our students make sure that they're keeping on track. Okay, so that's it about our two programs. Again, I really do appreciate this opportunity. Here, if there's any questions on either the agriculture program or the science program, or anything else you want to know about Texas Southmost College, please reach out to me and I'll get back to you. And thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Stone. Definitely appreciate you sharing the great information about Texas Southmost College. If there's any questions, please add them to the chat on your YouTube stream. We'll go ahead and share that information with the presenters. Even if they're not with us, we'll go ahead and try to get those answered for you. Up next, we want to give the opportunity to Ruby de la Garza. She is a liaison for USDA. So Ruby, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And I just want to make sure y'all can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Okay, well, my name is Ruby de la Garza. I am a liaison with USDA's Office of Partnerships and Public Engagement, and really excited to follow Dr. Stone, and excited because we have a new associates program in ag. And following me, Dr. Gabler with UTRGV will talk about their four-year programs. So like Dr. Stone said, there's a lot of agriculture in this area, and so it's really great to see our local institutions offer degrees for students. So a little bit about myself before I talk about USDA. I was born and raised here in Alamo, Texas. I got my four-year degree from Texas A&M University in College Station. I don't have an undergraduate degree in agriculture or any ag-related degree. I actually received a degree in community health. And so prior to coming to USDA, I did a lot of work in outreach. So a lot of volunteering and working with nonprofits. And so that's one of the strengths I bring in my position right now, doing a lot of outreach. And so in the pictures you see here, I do a lot of volunteering. I've worked at the food bank. In my current position at USDA, my father and I helped build a seasonal high tunnel for a local producer. So just a little bit about myself. A little bit about USDA. We were founded in 1862 by President Abraham Lincoln. We're known as the People's Department. We like to say that the work we do every day affects people every day in every way. So we provide leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, rural development, nutrition, and related issues based on public policy, the best available science, and effective management. We have offices all across the country. We have over 29 agencies and offices with nearly 100,000 employees in offices in the United States and across the globe. So I won't go too much into all of our mission areas, but I did want to just briefly mention a few, and specifically the ones that have agencies here in the Rio Grande Valley. And so farm production and conservation, marketing and regulatory programs, natural resources in the environment, rural development, and research, education, and economics. And I'll talk about some of those agencies and the careers at those agencies. So have you ever considered a career in ag? There's a lot of misconceptions about careers in ag. Like Mr. Stone said, it's much more than farming. So what does a career in ag look like? We have scientists, research scientists, plant inspection individuals. We have a program that trains detector dogs to train pests and diseases to protect our agriculture. And some of those dogs actually work with Customs and Border Protection and their ag specialists. We do a lot in the area of nutrition. One agency that individuals don't realize falls under USDA is Forest Service. So if you've seen Smokey Bear, the Food and Nutrition Service, if you've eaten free lunch or free breakfast at your school, that's a USDA program. And so a lot of different careers in ag at USDA. So I just want to highlight a few agencies here locally and some of the positions available. Two of these agencies that are here are Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service and Agricultural Research Service. And these agencies help protect our agriculture and do research to solve some of our problems. And so we have a lot of positions as biological science technicians, and these technicians work to keep our plants and natural resources healthy. They prevent pests and diseases from entering the country, ensure that our plants and plant products are traded safely. And so in the pictures you see here, locally, we have a lot of citrus, as y'all know. And so we have to protect our citrus from some citrus pests and diseases. One of these pests is the Asian citrus psyllid. So these employees are working, doing research to develop biological control methods to control that psyllid. Degree requirements for these positions require a degree in agriculture, biology, environmental science, entomology, or horticulture. Another agency that we have here in this area is Natural Resources Conservation Service, and they fall under our farm production and conservation mission area. These offices are almost in every county and every state, and one of the positions is soil conservationist, and so they help landowners develop and maintain and revise conservation plans. They evaluate those plans and their alternatives, and they have just practical knowledge of the methods and techniques of soil, water, and environmental conservation. Here at UTRGV, we do offer soils courses enough so that you qualify for these positions. And so for these positions, you have to have a bachelor's degree in soil conservation or related agriculture or science, and have at least 12 hours in a combination of soils, crops, or plants. USDA does hire a lot of engineers here locally with Natural Resources Conservation Service, and then also with the Forest Service. And so we hire engineers in civil, agriculture, and environmental engineering. With Natural Resources Conservation Service, engineers work in erosion control, water management, structural design, construction, hydraulics, soil mechanics, and environmental protection. And they also work with our farmers and ranchers. Farm Service Agency is another agency that is located in almost every county in Texas. Under Farm Service Agency, we do have loan officer positions, and they administer our farm loans to help farmers and ranchers get the financing they need to either start, expand, or maintain a farm. And educational requirements for these positions require a bachelor's degree in business administration, economics, or financing. Another agency within USDA that doesn't have a local office, but has an office in Austin, Texas, is National Agricultural Statistics Service. And so if you like math, we do hire statisticians at NASS, and they're responsible for doing our census of agriculture every 5 years. They collect and assemble, analyze, and disseminate data about US agriculture, and they hire 70% of their employees are statisticians. And like I said, they do the census of ag, so they plan and conduct agricultural surveys. They prepare estimates and forecasts concerning crops or commodities that are of major importance to us, and they evaluate data for validity and accuracy. For these positions, you do need a bachelor's degree with at least 24 semester hours in math or statistics. So for all of our federal agencies, or agencies within USDA and most federal agencies, we do have internship opportunities that high school students are eligible for, and these fall under our Pathways programs. And so these are all on usajobs.gov, but high school students and students enrolled in an associate, bachelor's, technical, or vocational degree are eligible for our internship programs. So what should you do now? I would say get experience, try to do a summer internship, if not work summer or part-time employment. You can also volunteer in your school, participate in career camps, and join student organizations such as FFA or 4-H. All of these experiences help you develop skills for career improvement. So problem solving, communication skills, time management, and critical thinking. So these help you prepare you for college and for a career. Just want to put my contact information there. I am located at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. I have an office on campus, but you can call me or email me if you have any questions regarding any of the programs. If you are interested in interning or volunteering with one of our agencies, I can also help connect you with our local agencies. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Delgado, for that great information about the USDA. A lot of stuff that I learned on listening to what you shared. So thank you for sharing that. I wanted to next invite Dr. Gabler from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley to talk about the sustainable agricultural and food systems. So Dr. Gabler, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. I appreciate the invitation. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my presentation. It's really great to be following Mr. Stone and Ruby de la Garza. This is that was an excellent preface to sort of the program we have. This is a very new program. It really just sort of got launched. We're starting our 3rd year, and it's new enough that Mr. Stone didn't include this on his list, right? So we're brand new. We're just getting started. But we're also one of those options for Texas Southmost College students to go into if they complete their 2-year program. And as I'm going to show you, we have a lot of opportunities specifically for students transferring in from 2-year programs, as well as coming in straight from high school. So I'm Dr. Chris Gabler. I'm the program coordinator for this, and I'm also an assistant professor of plant ecology. And one of the big differences between this program and a traditional agronomy program is we're not a traditional agronomy program. So if you really want to get into the production sciences hard and concentrate on some things really specific like poultry production or livestock production, we're not the program for you, okay? But we are a great program for people with broad interests and who really want to have a job related to food or agriculture that has big community impacts. So our focus is very much on sustainability and the sustainability of agriculture. And in order to understand sustainability and the triple bottom line of environmental and economic and social sustainability, you need to have a relatively broad basis in course instruction. And so here's sort of a good example of how we have a truly interdisciplinary program, but it's all unified around this idea of food and agriculture. So you're going to need some good hard sciences as your basic required courses. You'll need to take biology and environmental science, but we also want you to take courses in economics and even in courses in communication and engagement, so you can speak to the public and explain what's going on. Later on, these are courses that are required of all our different degree tracks. You'll take anthropology courses and more biology courses related to global change and agroecology, more economics courses, deeper environmental science courses on resource conservation and sustainable agriculture specifically, even history and philosophy courses related to food and agriculture. And one of the things we're most proud of, and this is a great follow-up to Ms. De La Garza's presentation, is she mentioned getting involved in your community, getting job experience, going out and doing something that gives you practical training. We recognize the importance of this, and we have made this an integral part of this degree program. So in your junior year, we call these part of our capstone course program. We want you to go out and spend 2 semesters doing what we call community engaged service learning. So you've probably heard of community engagement and service learning. We're putting those things together. And the idea is that you go out into the field, you engage with local stakeholders, and local businesses, local communities, and you do some work that gives you professional training. It gives you experience, problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, but you're also doing something of real tangible value for the people who you live with and around. And so this could involve professional training like an internship or some kind of participation in a research project. You may be leading the research project, it really depends. We have a really great and well-developed network of partners. USDA is one of our biggest partners. Students, Ruby mentioned the name is escaping me. The program where we look at inspection, right? We're part of the AFRI program, but we go and we interact with the USDA groups in South Texas, both around, especially in Edinburgh area. And we go and we look at specifically things like the Asian citrus psyllid. We have some folks working on the cattle fever tick, for example. And those are just two examples. In general, more broadly, you're going and you're getting involved with local, county, and state agricultural agencies. You're going to be you might work on a production farm or with a processor, something in the distribution or retailing of food. I mean, really, this list is very long, and I don't need to go into all of the nuances of this. And then in your senior year, we have a capstone program. The senior capstone is basically to start engaging in these seminar courses with visiting speakers that come from some of the same groups that you might have worked with as a junior. They come in and tell the whole group about it. You present your work in a non-technical way to everyone around, to all the different students in this interdisciplinary program. And following those seminar courses, everyone gets together, the entire cohort of graduating SAFS majors, and you come with your different areas of expertise, and you start talking about these big problems, big challenges, and find how they're all connected. And you sort of synthesize your community engaged service learning projects and find out what the big collective challenges and collective solutions can be. And we've had great success with this so far in our first few years, and I'm very excited about where it's going as our program grows and grows. So my thanks to Mr. Stone for doing a great job of explaining the need and the availability of these great agriculture related jobs. I had some of those exact figures in my longer version of this presentation that I cut out to just kind of give you some examples. You know, because this is an interdisciplinary program, the option for careers is big and broad. You can get jobs related directly to agricultural production, including biofuels production, right? So we grow energy cane in the valley, and there's lots of biofuel production around. You can get lots of different jobs in education and development, agricultural, environmental, or economic policy and analysis, right? So a lot of these correspond directly to those different USDA programs that Michaela Garza already talked about. And very many of our students go on to graduate studies. They go into a master's program or a PhD program in fields related in some way to not just agriculture, but also energy, food, water. A lot of different programs are happy to take students from our SAFS degree plan. And then, of course, if you want further specialization, we have 4 degree tracks currently, and these can give you an additional expertise, specific courses that'll allow you to get some of those inspector jobs managing or operating farms. If you take our food and health track, you might work as a nutritionist or an epidemiologist. The food and society group, those are your community development programs. You could become a professional grant writer, direct social programs, even be a social worker. And in our business and policy, right? It's that whole agribusiness field. We give you courses in management, in accounting, in marketing, so that you can own or operate your own agriculture-related business or food-related business, or become a deep policy analyst. Last slide. I really want to point out some of the fantastic opportunities, right? We're excited about the Texas Southmost College having a new ag program. I'm going to have to meet with Mr. Stone and work out some articulation agreements so that we can be on one of his slides next time. We have a USDA grant specifically for this, but 2 things I have to tell you about. First, you might have heard about this in the news, is the UTRGV Tuition Advantage Program. And so this is a major investment by donors and by the state government and by the UTRGV endowment to basically say, if your family makes less than $100,000 a year, we're going to find a way to cover tuition and fees. So that is, if your family doesn't make $100,000 a year, you should be able to come to UTRGV without paying any money. That's essentially zero tuition. That's powerful. That's one of the things we're most proud of at UTRGV. And we just released just this year the UTRGV Luminary Scholars Program, which is sort of a expansion of our Tuition Advantage program. So in this case, this is merit-based instead of being need-based, but it covers tuition and fees as well as housing for your first 2 years as an undergraduate. And then it also covers tuition when you go into graduate or medical school, so that you don't have to take out these big loans if you're going into medical school that really can affect your early life once you get that degree. We just got a big grant from USDA. I'm happy to be one of the PIs on this. It's called the Star Trek grant, which stands for South Texas Agricultural Roadmap for Teaching, Research, Experiential Learning, and Careers. And one of the things we do is specifically for this program is build bridges, provide scholarships specifically for students coming from two-year programs. So if you get that Associate of Science degree at Texas Southmost, we've got scholarships waiting for you. And this is a great way that students can transition from high school or two-year programs. One of the other big things is that however you came to UTRGV, we've got $2,500 per semester to pay you to get that experiential learning. We recognize the value of students participating. It's not some unpaid internship or help some company. We're going to pay you for that work as you build your resume, as you get that professional experience, because we see how important this is for your training, for our local businesses, and for keeping talent here in the Valley. So if you're interested in becoming a SAFS major, you apply like you would for any other program in the state of Texas through applytexas.org. And if you have any questions about this, please contact me. My contact information is right here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gabler. Let me see if there are any questions in the chat. I don't see any. I don't see any questions there. Definitely appreciate your time. A lot of great things happen at UTRGV, let alone your program. So thank you once again for being with us. At this time, I'd like to invite Monica Galvez-Cliften, I hope I said that right, HR Recruitment Coordinator for Magic Valley Electric Corporate.
Hi, good morning. As mentioned, my name is Monica Galvez-Cliften, and I work with Magic Valley Electric Cooperative. A little bit about myself. I've been here with the cooperative for the last 6 months as a recruitment coordinator, and during my 6 months here, I have been really exposed to a lot of the career opportunities here at the co-op from our frontline staff, our entry level, our member services reps, and our call center reps, to our general manager. And so there are definitely a lot of opportunities here locally for those who graduate from technical schools and those who graduate from 4-year degree programs as well. And so I'm really excited to be part of today's program, talking about Magic Valley, what we have to offer here for the Valley and for the students who decide. And our goal and our hope is that all of you who go to school here in the Valley decide to stay here in the Valley and work in the Valley. And Magic Valley is one of those, Magic Valley Electric Cooperative is one of the great places where those employment opportunities are available. So I'll go ahead and start off with my presentation here. Okay, careers in energy. And so through the presentation, I'll go over a little bit about what we have available here at Magic Valley, but there are also quite a bit of opportunities available throughout the industry itself. And I'm going to provide a link for you so that you can be able to visit and learn more about available careers in the energy sector. All right, so Magic Valley was established back in 1937. As you can see some pictures here of the farmers out here. So the reason why Magic Valley was set up is because electricity was only available to those individuals who lived in the city area. And so for individuals who lived out in the outskirts, the country area, there was no electricity available for them. And so farmers came together, they applied for a grant, and they were able to establish a co-op. And a co-op is basically a company that is owned by its members. And so the farmers were actually owners for the light company. And so here are some pictures of them setting up the poles. These were like our first linemen out there, and we'll talk a little bit more about the lineman program as I go into the presentation. So currently, we are headquartered in Mercedes. We've got an Edinburgh location, a Farr, and a Brownsville, and we employ over 270 employees, providing services throughout the Rio Grande Valley and outskirt areas. All right, so thinking about a career in energy. So have you ever thought, stopped to think, how does the light work? How do you charge your phone? It's energy, and what's behind energy? It's people. And so we've got individuals who are out there producing and transmitting safe and reliable energy from coal, natural gas, nuclear and renewable energy. And so the only way that we can provide energy to the community is with individuals, people like yourselves, students who are interested in giving back to the community, is the only way that we can power our community. So people who work in the energy industry do definitely make a significant difference in the lives of the people, those around them that they serve every day. They do. I hear from our employees who are out in the field that they take a lot of pride in what they do. They feel like they're really giving back to the community and being able to provide service to those individuals, especially during storms or outages where they're able to get out there and help these individuals get their power back up. And so it is a really rewarding career to be in. And also being part of the high tech and high growth industry.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, team. Okay. So let's get you some pictures here. All right, so here were some pictures of our linemen setting up these poles back in the 1930s. And so really cool story behind that. So I would invite all of you to visit our Magic Valley website and learn about how Magic Valley was started. All right, so let's get back in here. All right, so just some pictures of our crew out here servicing the Boys and Girls Club and along with different members throughout the community. So really excited about all that we're able to do. All right, so why be part of the energy industry? So as you all know, energy usage is growing. Communities are growing. A good example is the Valley. The majority of the Valley was farmland, and now you can see that there are businesses and residential neighborhoods popping up everywhere. And so the only way that these individuals can get light is through the light company providing those sources of electricity. One of the really neat things that you've probably seen around the Valley is just different sources of energy. We see our windmills, we see solar power. A lot of our homes, there's a lot of promotions of individuals switching over to solar, and so you've got a lot of solar power companies going out there and installing those units to the homes. And so part of the energy industry is being part of that growth. It's not just local, but also, I mean, one of the things that we can see is that these jobs are local. They can't be outsourced offshore. It's the labor is provided by individuals who live and work here in the United States. One thing that we have seen and that I've definitely seen here in the last 6 months working here at Magic Valley is our workforce is aging. A lot of the individuals that started in the technical industry and the power industry was, back in the, 60s and 70s and 80s. And so a lot of these individuals are retiring. Just in the 6 months I've been here, we've had 3 retire, and next year we are looking at another 6 retiring. So we definitely are replacing those individuals as they retire, and our industry is also growing. So there's definitely a need for individuals to work in the energy industry. All right, so some of the jobs that we can see, at least here at Magic Valley, and actually throughout the energy industry, are line workers, which on average they make entry level about $43,000. And we're actually going to have Mr. Angel Toledo from TSTC talk a little bit about the line worker program that we have available for individuals here in the Valley. It's a really exciting program. We've already hired a couple of individuals from the first graduating class, so we're excited to have this program local. And I am excited to have Angel be able to talk about that. We also have our technicians, individuals who are out there, installing the meters, working on the meters, working indoors, our computer technicians. A lot of these individuals are graduates from 2-year programs, and definitely we've got the 4-year programs as well. Entry level, 39, up into your senior level at 107. And engineers, that's a big one too that we have here. These do need the 4-year degree, which the majority of our engineers here graduated here local at UTRGV. And so just in the 6 months that I've been here, we've hired over 7 engineers. And so it definitely is a field that we need workers in. And so definitely consider any one of these careers. Aside from these technical careers, we also have our entry-level careers for individuals who are interested in our call center and our member services. Definitely those do need customer service skills, but it is something that it does not require more than your high school degree. Although we do encourage more than your high school, it does bring a lot more skill set when you are able to come in with a college degree. All right, and so requirements for those going into the energy industry, it does begin with your high school diploma, so that is really important. Also requires that you come in with a clean record, so make sure that your backgrounds are clear. Skilled certifications such as the lineman program, and we've got our mapping technicians, our staking technicians, our member services reps, call centers reps. Those ones just require our 1 year to 2 year programs, and then we have our more specialized areas where they do require those 4-year degrees. So here locally, we're able to get the degrees that we need to open many opportunities in the energy industry. Plus, many companies such as ourselves provide on-the-job apprenticeships programs that will train you to further develop you and make you more marketable within the industries that you work at. Some of the careers that we offer here, we've got our line workers, our operators, our technicians, our welders, engineers, accountants, customer service. We also have our auto technicians. So definitely quite a bit of opportunities in the energy industry. All right, so for those of you who would like to learn a little bit more, get more details about energy opportunities throughout the U.S., please do visit this website. There's quite a bit of information on what you can do to develop your skills while you're in high school and what you can do to prepare in college for these amazing careers in the energy field. I am going to turn this over to Mr. Angel Toledo, who is going to talk a little bit about the apprentice lineman program that we have available here locally at TSTC.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for allowing me to share this information on the line worker technology at TSTC. I'm going to go over a little bit on my experience. I worked 30 plus years for Grande Public Utilities Board. I retired back in 2020 February, and I started with TSTC on the pandemic year, fall 20. We started with 23 students for the program. Now we have 9 of them that have graduated this past summer and that are working for different companies along the valley at an average pay of $23 to $27 an hour, which is great. I'm going to go over a little bit of what does a lineman does on his job. Well, linemen, they work before, on the storm, and after the storm. Our job is to restore power during outages and to keep the world functioning smoothly in the electrical side. The TSTC electrical and worker technology, you will get plenty of hands-on instructions in everything from climbing, skills, to troubleshooting distribution systems, to rigging, to framing poles, setting poles, removing poles, transformer connections, single phase, 3-phase, troubleshooting distribution systems, and the most important of all this, the safety on all these. The students will learn safety for every movement before putting their climbing gear on. Let me tell you that the line workers must be prepared to work in all weather conditions, got to be able to work long hours in elevated situations and not have a fear of heights. As an incentive, TSTC line workers programs offers a money-back guarantee for qualifying students. And these are the students that are going for the associate degree. TSTC is so confident in the qualifying of its technical education program that it guarantees its graduates will find a job within 6 months of graduation, or they will get their money back. So I'm going to go over a little bit on the courses that these students will be taking. And the certificate program, if they choose for the certificate, it is a 3-semester program. And the students will be learning climbing skills, rigging on the job, orientation of line skills fundamentals, work procedures, and line skills fundamentals, distribution operations, electrical safety tools and calculations, lifeline safety, transformer connections, special topics in line worker, distribution line constructions, OSHA regulations on construction industry. And if the student choose to go for the associate, which it consists on 5 semesters, they will be taking troubleshooting distribution systems and 3 elective courses. And on the last semester, transmission and underground utilities, maintenance, testing, reconducting for line worker, and 2 more elective courses. Upon completion of the program, the student is ready to perform as an apprentice lineman. Like I mentioned before, our first graduates, they're starting working at an average from 22 to 27. The requirements for to join in this program, it's a student needs to have a high school diploma or equivalent, a Class C driver license, the physical medical exam, criminal records, a drug screen, and that's all I have here. Any questions from anybody? Questions? Again, my name is Angel Toledo. I am from TSTC in Harlingen.
Thank you,
One thing, I just remember one thing. I'm sorry about this. This program is not new for TSTC. It's been on TSTC for the past 8 years. It's new here in the Valley for TSTC. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Toledo. We definitely appreciate that. I did visit the campus and see the program. They kind of showed us all the basic information, but in person, it was actually pretty cool to see it and how you all did that. So keep up the great work there at TSTC.
Thank you.